welcome to Arise Entertainment 360. I'm Shannon, LaNier.
And I'm Keturah King. Live from New York, we're here with your 360 look at entertainment, arts, and culture.
And we've got some exciting news for you today because it looks like former President Barack Obama will be getting his own TV show.
Yes.
Well, sort of. He's currently in talks with Netflix, along with wife Michelle Obama, of course, to create exclusive content for the streaming giant.
That's right. Now, although the details of this deal are yet to be revealed, one thing we know for certain is that the personable ex-Prez does not plan to use his show to respond to the Don's criticisms of him. Instead, he'll choose to highlight only inspirational stories.
Now, I wonder if this is a new trend, like all presidents will have their own TV shows.
I know.
Like either fire people or hire people or inspire people.
I like the way Barack has chosen to go. I mean, I'm not a big fan of the Don, as we all know, Mr. Cheeto himself. But I love the fact that he's choosing to highlight inspirational stories because he himself is an incredibly inspirational person, as is his wife, the Queen.
Exactly. And like she says, when they go low, we go high. And that's what they're doing. I love it. I'm going to watch every single episode.
I will be watching every single one as well. In fact, I might skip a few days of work just to ensure that I binge watch every single show. I love him. I love her. I love them.
And don't worry, we will keep you posted on when the shows will be released. Yes. Now, talk show host and Academy Award show host Jimmy Kimmel had Kobe Bryant on as a guest on Thursday to discuss the basketball champ's Oscar win. Now, during the interview, Kobe mentioned that he is still in disbelief, as are many, that he was able to take home the gold, so to speak.
Yeah, well, you might remember that immediately after Kobe's win, social media exploded in uproar due to his alleged past sexual misconduct. While the petition to strip him of his victory still lingers on, it doesn't seem to have fazed Kobe in the slightest. Let's take a little look at the two in action.
I have a little present for you. It's something, I don't know if you'll use this, but I want you to have this because I think this would be great. This is for Oscar, actually, not for you. Oh, got a little that's awesome. Jersey for him. And then, that is awesome. If you win another Oscar, or maybe you just want to change it out, you can just put that right.
That's so sweet.
Oscar doesn't have arms.
Okay, that is actually cute with the little jersey for the statue.
I mean,
you're not over it. But.
You know, he had, I believe it was, correct me if I'm wrong, number 24 and the number 8 jersey. So one of them was a specific size for the Oscar statue and one for Kobe. Yeah, that was cute, but you know.
But still, the controversy ensues. All right. Well, speaking of social media, we'll move right along. It looks like Ivanka Trump might want to lay off it for a while. This keeps happening. Well, the White House advisors says that they were ridiculed online after posting the honorary tribute to International Women's Day.
Absolutely. Now, her tweet read, "Today we come together in recognition of women at home and around the globe. We celebrate women's achievements, past and present, and pledge to empower women to reach their full economic potential for generations to come. When women thrive, we all succeed." According to Twitter, however, it would seem her father's track record screams otherwise.
Exactly. Women are like, how are you going to post this if your father's saying one thing, you're saying another thing? Get on the same accord and, you know, lift up women all together.
I mean, to be very, very, very fair and incredibly candid, we all know what the Trump has said previously about women and their private parts.
And what he's done to them.
Well, So I don't know that anybody from that family should be tweeting anything about International Women's Day. Let's just keep stum, shall we?
Yes, probably a good thing to do.
And who gave her 280 characters?
I know, right?
I'm going to have to talk to Twitter about that.
Please do.
If they have enough of a, what do you call it, platform already, we don't need to give them any more. Thank you. 2
words each. That's it.
Don't deport me.
Right. She's out of here, though. We got your back. Don't worry.
Now, in honor of International Women's Day and month, Mattel, the creators of the Barbie doll, have introduced a new series of inspirational role models for young girls to look up to.
So they can all look up to you.
Yes.
The real life Barbie doll
I
that
have a Barbie.
wife comes in and my daughter comes in and loves.
I know, she's so adorable.
Well, you can be one of her Barbie dolls, and Mattel conducted a survey results that show 86% of mothers worldwide have concerns about today's role models for their daughters. So now they'll be able to look at these women as astronauts, scientists,
and you've got
doctors.
real life people. We saw Dee Reed's on there. You can see figure skating champions. I mean, I love that. I love the inclusion, the diversity. They're really representing everyone from women in hijabs to black women with mohawks.
I love it.
Let's go, get it, Mattel. What a way to ensure that you stay current, relevant, and ahead of the times.
Bravo, bravo.
Well done, Mattel.
All right. Well, in a series of unfortunate events, it looks like SportsCenter lost not one, but both of its hosts just a few short weeks.
That is correct. Now, according to Sports Illustrated, Michael Smith will sadly be leaving after today's show. But just like co-host Jamel Hill, he will remain at ESPN in another capacity. That makes it only 13 short months of having the original hosts on the show.
We're going to have to get more details about this because they were so good together.
Yeah.
You know, I liked watching them.
They created this show around their personalities, and seemingly ESPN just took a step back and sort of made it a very generic sports show. And as we know, both of these presenters, Jamel especially, has been very candid online, on the radio, on podcasts, talking about, you know, whether it's Trump or even ESPN and using profanities. So, you know, she was moved over to another department, and Smith was like, well, and she goes, I go. That's my homie. Just like if you meet, I would get.
I got your back. I got your back. But apparently they're not going to be doing the show together, so we'll just have to see them in other capacities
Absolutely.
instead. So, I'm glad they still stood up for each other and that she spoke her voice and it was her true self.
Exactly.
They tried to silence her. She said no.
Stay authentic, honey.
There you go.
Yes.
Fight power. All right. Well, keeping it with sports, superstar sisters Serena and Venus Williams. Gotta love them, right?
Yes.
Well, they are using their star power to fight for women and minorities, and even other athletes as well. About 10 years ago, you may remember that Venus took to Wimbledon, and she started talking about the gender pay gap and how it was unfair, and that she wanted it to change. And, pardon the pun, it paid off. Hey, get it? Well, in 2007, Wimbledon acquiesced and began to pay winners the same amount, regardless of their gender.
I love that. And even though the talented tennis team are amongst the richest athletes in the world, they still advocate equal pay and sufficient time off for new mothers. Serena's quoted in Fortune as saying, "Together we will change the story, but we're going to have to fight for every penny."
But I love that she's standing up for what she believes in, and she's doing it as a new mother.
Yes, indeedy.
So I'm very proud of her, and I'm glad that she's coming out and saying it, because there's another woman who's going to be competing this weekend. There's also a new mother who's just getting off of maternity leave.
Oh,
so,
well, thank you, Shannon.
Yeah, there you go. All right, well, staying with Serena, she has just played her first competitive match since becoming a mother.
That is right. She beat Serena Diaz in Indian Wells, inching ever closer to playing against Sister Venus in the third round.
Ooh, can you imagine if they played each other again?
They've played each other so many times.
I know, but not after having a baby. It's like, now it's really going to go down.
Serena's still going to win.
I know. I'm like, can you imagine she actually won the last Open? She did 7 weeks
Pregnant!
And now she's coming back after having a baby.
Yep.
She's unstoppable, if you ask me.
And I love the fact, like you were saying, the fact that she's using her position to fight for new mothers. Because I think the rule is you have to go back to work 4 weeks after having a baby.
Depends on where you work. It could be less than that.
That's crazy.
Unless you take unpaid leave, you can do that for 3 months.
No, that is, wow. What I have, if I have a baby.
Is that a big F? If out of this body, like
if I have a baby, I will be off work for about 2 years.
Oh, there's
or
my wife took
22
6 years off, so why not?
Yeah, I'll come back when my baby's like grown up, left the house.
Like, well, they're in college now. I'm gonna nothing else to do.
I'll be
go
like,
work
with my cane. I'll be like, hi guys, remember me? I was back, y'all.
Well, don't take that long off because I would miss you too much.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Okay, so let's talk about some magazine covers. Star Magazine, I saw this on the way to work this morning. Star Magazine claims that the actress Terry Hatcher, you know, from Superman and
Desperate Housewives,
which I love. Well, they say that Terry Hatcher is broke and homeless. But the TV maven is denying the accusations.
Yep. She sat down with KTLA and labeled the accusations absurd and categorically false. She went on to state that the story might have stemmed from when the paparazzi took photos of her exiting her van while she was shooting her series, aptly titled Van Therapy. Now, I don't know, but you can be the judge.
What
do you think?
Highly doubt that she is broke and homeless.
I mean,
she may be living in that van, but she's doing therapy in the van. It's part of the show.
You know what? I don't know where I stand on this one because images can be deceiving. So while she might not be broke, you know, she's coming out to rebut these claims and refute them, she might be. You know, look at Mark Morrison. He made Return of the Mac. Stole the Mac.
Look,
How do you lose that many tens of millions? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
There
some
might
people
be
are irresponsible.
Exactly. She might have made some silly investments. She might have just spent it all on bags of shoes.
But either way, it's making great publicity for her new show. So
Also
it
very
works.
true.
Van Therapy will now be getting a lot more viewers now because we know about it, and hopefully she's not actually living in the van. Hopefully. We're gonna reboot of Desperate Housewives, please.
Now, off the back of the Oscars and Frances McDermott's impassioned speech about inclusion riders, Michael B. Jordan is the latest celebrity to adopt one. As if he couldn't do any right anymore. We love him.
Which is why we love him even more now.
Absolutely.
Thanks to this, because it is amazing. He says he's going to use his platform to better his community, not just himself. And the actor wrote on Instagram in support of men and women who are leading this fight. I will be adopting the inclusion rider for all projects produced by my company, LIM Society. Now, I've been privileged to work with powerful women and persons of color throughout my career, and it's Outlier's mission to continue to create for talented individuals going forward.
I love
So this
that.
means that, in case you not understand what this inclusion rider means, that all the projects you work on have to be 50-50, have to be 50% diversified
But is it
workers.
50 or is it just diversity?
It should be just diversity, but it has to be at least 50%. That's what the rider calls for. At least 50% of diverse backgrounds in front of and behind the camera
You
altogether.
know, I feel incredibly ambivalent about this because whilst I hate the fact that we even need such a thing as an inclusion rider in
Right.
2018, I love the fact that we are actually talking about situations that have not been great for a long time. You know?
Yeah.
He's doing great things. Go Black Panther. Dance.
All right, and finally, while Sofia Vergara might be TV's highest paid actress in general, as of this past January, Grey's Anatomy star Ellen Pompeo became dramatic television's highest earning actress.
That is right. And this follows her inking a brand new deal with ABC Studios, garnering her over, y'all ready?
Drum roll.
$20 million per year on the Doctor's drama.
Per year,
Per
people.
year. The show is now in its 14th season and shows no sign of being on life support.
So she is going to be paid for a while.
Oh, listen, $20 million per year? I wouldn't take any other jobs. I'd be like,
Right,
what's up,
okay.
Grey's Anatomy? I'm here, I'm sleeping here, I don't need to go home. What you need me for? I can read everybody's lines.
Right.
I mean, what? That is amazing.
She's not going to have to worry about living in a van. You can say that.
Terry gonna come catch you. You know, apparently, 2 of the female cast members are going to be leaving the show after this season.
They can't afford to have them. She's getting paid $20 million.
That's what they're whispering. They're saying, just like with Sex and the City, that maybe because she asked for what she feels she deserves, they're now like, oh, well, bye.
Oh.
But I would be like, bye. Whatever. If you don't know how to ask for what you want, that's not my problem.
Dang, shit. Well, you know, the show is named after her, so they kind of need her.
Well, if you're Dr. Gray, you can do whatever you want.
Well, what do you guys think about this? Go ahead and tweet us about it and let us know. And we have much more show coming back after the break.
Stick around. Welcome back to Arise Entertainment 360. Now, Fashion Week might be over in NYC, but LIM College is still hitting the runway.
And to celebrate freedom of self-expression through art and fashion, their 74th annual fashion show kicks off on March 23rd. And here with more is lead faculty advisor overseeing style and beauty, Calton Spence. Welcome to the show.
Carlton.
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm well, how are you?
Oh, ever better for seeing you. Now, let's talk, because you are, of course, the fashion and beauty guru. Let's
Yes.
talk about your outfit, honey.
Okay.
A lot going on right up in there.
I mean, I'm loving all the little splashes of pink I see.
Well, thank you.
I mean, Shannon, where's your stylist?
I'm looking. I'm trying to get these tips, like the pocket square, the little.
Well, it's all
pop
about
of
telling a
jewel.
color story.
Oh, it's a
Yes,
story.
it's a story,
Okay.
yes.
So what does this story tell
so
us?
This story, well, it's pre-Easter. So since Easter is April 1st, I figured I
Makes
would,
sense.
you know, show some pops of color.
That is
Okay.
amazing.
And a little sparkle.
Now, can you show too much? Because I would be afraid of all the pattern. This is called pattern blocking, right?
Absolutely.
So I would be afraid of all that. But
Why?
go for it.
But he's linking it together with the color,
the
hence
color.
a color story.
Yes.
Okay.
You
So
need
the
to give
pattern
him
can
some
be different
tips.
as the color's the same.
Exactly,
To
as
blend
long
it
as
together.
as long as you're telling the same story.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
Learning so much
So
already.
the
Yes.
show itself is 74 years old.
Yes.
What can we expect that's different this year?
So what you can expect that's different this year is that we're featuring designers from New York City. All right, up and coming designers. I've done a lot of research on Instagram and found a lot of talent, a lot of street fashion. We're also featuring designers from showrooms like Thea, like
Ooh, I wore some of their pieces
evening
during
wear.
Oscar week.
Yes, yes. Actually, the woman who runs that showroom is an alumni of LIM College. So you'll be seeing a mixture of pieces from showrooms, from designers. But what's great about it is that the students put the looks together.
That's
My
amazing.
supervision.
So other designers, but the students style it all.
Yes, the students
Okay,
styled it all.
got it.
Exactly.
So what is it about this show that keeps having people come back year after year for 74 years?
Well, it's all student models. We have 40 student models. We have over 80 looks. And what's unique about our show, like schools like FIT, they have a design major. We don't have a design major. So the students are solely responsible for the production of the show.
Wow.
From backstage to beauty to hair to makeup.
That's amazing.
To writing press releases for the show to soliciting sponsors for the gift bags. So they do all of it. And myself and my professor that I work with that also works on the production, Terrence Coffey, he oversees production and marketing. So basically that's what makes our show unique from FIT show or Parsons show is that our students actually produce the show.
And that's amazing because you're actually empowering them. You're teaching them the skills that they'll need
We're getting
in
them
future.
ready for the real world.
Yes.
Exactly.
Wow.
And it's also good because a lot of people think it's just about what's on the runway. But there's so many
the
things
whole
behind the
ecosystem
scenes.
around it. That's
What goes behind the
phenomenal.
scenes, exactly, the production aspect of the show.
So this year you're talking about fashion as art.
Yes.
What does that mean?
So art means fashion. It's seeing fashion. Well, art and fashion go hand in hand. So you have artists like Basquiat and Monet. And for example, I don't want to steal the thunder of the show, but one of the scenes we took the inspiration from Monet, all those beautiful watercolor patterns that you've seen in his paintings. And we're going to actually bring that to life through fashion. Wow. Okay. So it's basically taking what you'd see in a painting but bringing it to life. But that's just one of the aspects of the show. We look at art is not only in paintings, but art can be dance. Art can be architecture, what you see in nature, patterns that you see in the environment. So it's just basically finding the inspiration through a millennial's eye.
Right. And do you think the students had any parameters, so to speak?
Well, yes, because I mean there is a budget that we're working with. So of course, I mean I would love to show avant-garde designs, but you know we have a certain budget. So with that being said, though we do have certain parameters that limit us, but we really do encourage them to be creative.
Well, your venue is definitely creative this year. You guys are going to be doing at the Intrepid Air and Space Museum. Tell us about that and how that came about.
Very excited. So this is our second time showing our show at the Intrepid. Last year we showed at the Hammerstein Ballroom. But what makes the Intrepid so awesome is that it's a museum. So our VIP party will be held on the Intrepid as well. And you just have so many historical elements on the ship that will really captivate the attendees before the show. So it's just a really engaging environment, just the ship itself. Like you don't need a lot of bells and whistles, you don't need a lot of uplighting to really make the venue come to life.
It's already beautiful.
It's beautiful.
I mean, I just want to highlight for our international
Yes,
viewers
yes.
that they are putting a fashion show on a ship. A ship. Just in case you didn't get it, a ship on water.
Surrounded by
This is
airplanes and
amazing.
jets and helicopters.
That is so phenomenal. The moment you mentioned that to me, I mean, I've never heard of that before. That is phenomenal.
It's absolutely, it's amazing. It's a great opportunity. And again, for it being our second year returning there, we're really excited about building our partnership with them as well.
Wow.
Yeah.
Phenomenal stuff. So what are you hoping that the audience will get out of the show this year?
We hope that the audience leaves inspired. Whenever you see a runway show, you're supposed to leave inspired, saying that, you know what, that's something that I would not maybe had considered wearing before, but I'll consider wearing it now. You don't want to look at a fashion show and it be pedestrian. Do you know what I mean when I say pedestrian?
Shady.
No,
Shady.
Like they're walking around with jeans and regular stuff.
you don't want that. You want to be inspired. You want to leave saying, wow, that's something that I aspire to.
Yeah, but a lot of times I also leave saying, I can't see myself wearing that anywhere. Where am I going to wear that?
So there's a fine line. You want to be able to aspire, but also make it relatable as well. So there will be some pieces that are aspirational and artistic.
Right.
And there also will be some looks that are relatable and wearable as well.
Okay. That's a good point.
Sense.
What aspect of the show, without giving too much away, would you say excites you the most?
What excites me the most about the show? Just seeing the students' faces, just seeing all of their hard work for 2 semesters come to life. That's priceless. And I told them the day of the show to just really be in the moment, because this is a moment that they will remember for the rest of their lives. Well, I won't give away how old I am, but some time ago when I was in college, I actually produced shows as well. So it really has come 360. Now I'm entering them.
Wow.
Just come 360 and you're on the rise 360. I just thought I'd have to drop that in there. Okay, let's move on.
So, for those that aren't your students, what advice would you have to give them to getting in this industry? Because it is a very cutthroat, tough industry to get into.
It is. Finding a mentor, no matter whether you want to be a stylist, whether you want to be a publicist, whatever area of the fashion industry that you want to get into, you have to find a mentor, someone who will show you the ropes, someone who you can consult and confide in so that you don't make the same mistakes that him or her may have made.
Yeah, the benefit of experience.
Absolutely.
Amazing. So where can people learn more about not just the program itself, but also the fashion show?
What can they learn about the fashion?
Where can they learn some more? Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, they can visit our Eventbrite site on Instagram, on Facebook, LIM College / Art Meets Fashion show, and also on our school's website as well.
Okay.
Amazing.
Yes. Right. Thank you so much for joining us, Carl.
Thank you.
Look forward to seeing y'all on the runway.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. 2 snaps and a twirl. Again, the LIM College Fashion Show will be held on the 23rd of March on the Intrepid. I can't get over that. A fashion show on a ship. We have to talk some more about this during the break.
Absolutely.
We'll be right back.
Absolutely.
Every time you interrogate the beliefs and biases that you have about other bodies, you interrupt a system that profits off of the way that you feel about other bodies and the systems of comparison that we live in. Our relationship with our bodies is our access to a more just and equitable world. Our relationship with other people's bodies is how we bend the box towards justice.
While society may try to body shame people who look different, our next guest is unapologetic about her size and empowers women to begin self-love.
And Bustle Magazine named her one of 12 women who've paved the way for body positivity. Here with more on her new book, The Body Is Not an Apology, is Sonya Renee Taylor. Welcome to the show.
Sonya.
Thanks so much for having me.
Wow, thank you for joining us. That was a powerful speech that we just heard there. Now, what led to you writing this book?
You know, I've been doing the work of radical self-love through my company, The Body's Not an Apology, since 2011. And we run a digital media platform, an education platform, really focused on how do we learn how to get back to the way that we came here, which is radical self-love. And I just felt like it was time to take all of those ideas that we've been sort of sharing with folks and put them in one place that's easy to get to.
Wow. Do you think, was this something that you had to deal with your entire life, like body shaming, that you said, you know what, I'm tired of this and I have to put a stop and do something about it? Or
yeah, I think that it's something that we all deal with. Like what I talk about in the book is from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed at night, there are messages telling you somehow you're not good enough. Somehow something's wrong with you, right? And all of us are conditioned to believe that, to hear that inner chatter. And the work of the book is really to remind us that that voice, that chatter of negativity, isn't your actual authentic self. Your authentic self already knows you're amazing and awesome and enough just as you are.
My goodness. Clearly you're a motivational speaker, and if you aren't, you should be. Now, talk to me about the self-love that you developed? Because it seems to be one of the watchwords for 2018. Everyone's screaming self-love, love yourself, but are we really doing it enough? How did you develop your self-love?
So I think that it is a buzzword, and I think we aren't doing it enough. And again, I don't think that it's a function of figuring out how you learn to do it. It's about figuring out what are the things that are in the way of me loving myself. And so part of that work for me has been to really start to interrogate the messages that I hear when someone is, when I'm in this brain mindset of like, oh, my stomach should be flat. My question is like, who said?
Yep.
And why did they say that? If I'm having this idea like, oh, my hair doesn't look good enough, starting to ask ourselves, where did this message come from, and why am I choosing to believe it?
Oh, I love that.
That is
You
so
give me
powerful.
goosebumps.
Yeah. I need to be writing all this down. This is good for all of us.
Just get the book.
Okay.
Amazing.
Well, take us back to the time when you reluctantly posted the self-love photo for the first time. Why did you do it, and what was going through your mind? How were you feeling when you did it?
Absolutely. So I had taken this selfie. It was in my phone, and I felt fabulous. I felt powerful. I was in this little black corset. It was racy. And at the same time, I was really listening to this negative voice saying, don't post that. People will judge you. And so I didn't share the photo for like 6 months. And then someone shared a photo of a plus-size model on my Facebook page, and she was in a black corset looking fabulous. And I was like, somebody paid that woman a lot of money to put her juicy thighs on the internet. What is keeping me from doing this? And so she inspired me to post that selfie. And in the selfie, I said, I am 230 pounds. I have a really bad tattoo, and I feel beautiful and powerful in my body. Post a photo where you do too. The next morning, 30 people had tagged me in photos.
Amazing.
And I was like, maybe we need a space where we get a chance to feel unapologetic and celebrate our bodies. So I made a Facebook page, and that was 7 years ago, and today we're a social media and education company. 32 people in 4 countries help us run The Body Is Not an Apology.
But you know what? She makes it sound so easy. Like, oh, you just do it. You just go ahead. But I've been afraid as a man to post pictures of myself, without a shirt on the internet, because some people are like, oh, he doesn't have
Not that afraid. He posted one the other day.
I've been working hard lately. But when I wasn't in shape, there is that, that overlooming negative thing that says, don't do it. People are going to talk about you. They're going to dog you. They're going to joke about you. You just don't feel like hearing it.
Absolutely.
So how do we get to the point? I know you say just get rid of the things in the way, but what are some steps that will get us there to where we are confident enough in our bodies to just embrace all the love we have?
Totally. So in the back of the book, I have what I call the Radical Self-Love Toolkit. It's 10 tools that you can start living into today to do what I call unplug from the message, the indoctrination of body shame, and plug into radical self-love. One of them is dump the junk. Think about all the stuff that you feed into your own brain and psyche every single day that is all about negative messages about your body or other people's bodies. Think about the magazines we buy. Like, we literally pay people $8 to tell us, sorry, you're not cute enough. Sorry, you need to be thinner. You need to be smarter. You need to be sexier. What if we stopped doing that? What if we started thinking about, like, what are the messages that I'm watching on TV? What are the messages I'm listening to on the radio? And just do a little fast, a little toxic media fast, right? Another one of the things that I talk about is tool number 3, which is reframe your framework. Your body is not the enemy. So often we think about our bodies in this adversarial relationship. Why won't you do what I want you to do? Why aren't you making a 6-pack yet?
Come on. Were you listening to me this morning?
I know, I was there. I'm everywhere. But what happens when we decide that our bodies are not our enemies but our allies, and that our bodies are working with us to live our best lives, right? If we decide that we're at war with our bodies, then we can't ever have peace. And so I really am encouraging us to think about, how do we make peace? Not even because it's real yet, right? Maybe we're still struggling. Maybe we don't believe it. But maybe we can act like we do until we really do.
Oh, man. Okay, so I have a question for you. Can we get married?
Yes,
you're
I'm
amazing.
single.
I mean, you are amazing. Every single word you're saying, I'm literally like, wow. But take us back to the pivotal moment when you decided to shave your hair off and embrace being the bold woman that you are.
Yeah, so about 6 months after I started the Facebook page for The Body Is Not an Apology, I kind of woke up, and I felt like I woke up and something punched me in my face. I don't even know what it was, but something was like, you are being a hypocrite, Sonya. every day you wake up and you tell people to love themselves unapologetically, and then you slap on this wig that you've been wearing for the last 15 years. I had lovers who had never seen me without my wig on. And I had that shame because I had developed traction alopecia when I was in elementary school. And so I got teased unmercifully in elementary school about having thinning and balding hair. And I had so much shame about it. And I also was clear that I couldn't grow this movement and the vision that I saw for it while still living in these spaces of shame. There's something about the words "the body is not an apology" that either makes you live into it or remind you of all the places where you're not. And that's what happened. I was like, oh, nope, except I'm still acting like my hair is an apology. So I decided I was going to do something radical. I was only going to do it for 30 days. I was going to shave my hair because my belief was I couldn't be beautiful without hair. So I was like, all right, I'm going to shave my hair, and I'm going to have some people like help promote me and like celebrate me in the beginning of the journey. That was 7 years ago, and I never grew my hair back. And we detailed the entire process, which we call a Ruckus project, on YouTube. You can see all the videos from it.
That's great. And a lot of people are watching on YouTube. With 250,000 subscribers to your blog.
Well, when she speaks like this, it's not hard to see why.
I know. People are tuning in all the time to make sure they get a little piece of your advice and everything. Is there a lot of pressure, you know, associated with that? Because there's so many people, you know, leaning on every word. Like, what you're going to say next.
Sonya fixed my life.
Exactly. That's a new show. I'm just saying. Okay.
Pitch it.
Yes, there is. I feel pressure to make sure that my message is real, that I'm honest and authentic. But I think honest and authentic also means not perfect. So I tell people I can't fix your life, because actually that's up to you.
Absolutely.
But what I can do is live authentically from this belief of radical self-love. I can be honest about where I am today and where I'm trying to go tomorrow, and hopefully I can be a light for other people on that pathway that feels dim sometimes.
And speaking of being a light, you believe in the power of art as a vehicle for social and self-change.
Yeah.
So what's next for you?
That's a good question. So for the last 15 years, I've been a performance poet, making my living writing and performing poetry all over the world. It's been amazing. I feel like there is way more books in me, lots of books, and also a stage show. I've really been thinking, people have been asking me, so where did these ideas come from, Sonya? How have you grown into this particular mindset? And I want to talk about my family and my journey and how I got here, because I think there's something really powerful about the trauma and the challenges that I've been through, and the power of overcoming, the power of resiliency.
I even have a name for your show already.
I'm ready for it.
So you know how you have the vagina monologues?
Yes.
This will be you on stage, and it'll be called the Self-Love Soliloquies.
Yes.
Self-love soliloquy.
There you go. I will accept PayPal.
I was like, I know there's a cut coming. I tell
10% of all profits. Thank you so much for joining us. You are amazing. So inspirational. Please keep it up.
I promise. I'll do my best.
All right. And 360 will be right back after this break. Don't go anywhere. Welcome back to Rise Entertainment 360. Now, they're an international teen R&B quartet that proves the Philly sound didn't die in the 70s.
That is right. These young men's undeniable talent and vocal harmonies will wow audiences worldwide. Welcome to the show, Meant to Be. Hello, boys.
How you doing? MTB in the house?
I'm fine. I'm like, you're like the new, I mean, I always hate when people say this, sorry, but it's like watching B2K back in the heyday when they were actually popping.
Yeah, they was popping.
They was popping. Well, now y'all popping, as they say. So give us a roll call of who's who and how old you guys are.
I'm Rizzy, and I'm 18.
Rizzy?
I'm Tay, I'm 20. I'm Mary, and I'm 20.
I'm Dash, and I'm 20.
And you guys sound amazing. So when did you discover that you had singing abilities?
When I was 8 years old.
Wow.
Wow. Okay.
That's young.
Right.
I don't even know. Like, I couldn't describe it. Like, I just been singing ever since I can remember.
So you came out of the womb singing?
Pretty much.
I'm sure y'all
Instead of crying,
singing like that, right?
Yes.
So when did you guys become a group, and how did you link up then?
We came a group 3 years ago.
Yeah. 3 years ago, okay.
Yeah.
Were y'all friends before? Did you just meet up on the street corner? What?
Actually, me and him, we went to school together. Me and him were in a music program together.
Oh, okay, cool.
So kind of like coexisted with each other, and then we became meant to be because it was meant to be.
Oh,
Look at that.
I like that. Okay. So you guys are all Philly natives. Does that soulful Philly sound sort of creep into your music?
Yes, it definitely does. It got a big influence on everything that we do in our music because we listen to a lot of Philly artists as well as other artists from like around the world. Like we've been blessed to like to travel to different places, so like we try to incorporate everywhere we go in our sound.
Well, who are some of the influential artists in your music?
You could go first.
Like my name Dash, by the way. Again, I listen to like Chris Brown. I listen to Tank, Jagged Edge, Temptations. Ash Jet, like that. So like I listen to a lot of people from back in the day, and I just try to put it into our new modern style now.
Do you sing the bass notes? That's just you, okay.
Really? Oh wow.
We all
Okay.
sing bass.
We switch it up, but he do the bass the most.
So who sings? What do you call it? Soprano.
We
hit those notes?
All of us.
So you can do all of them, soprano, alto. Wow. Okay, so you guys are very talented. So you've been blessed to work the stage with some of R&B's finest artists. Who was your favorite person to perform with and why?
Perform with or like
Open up for.
Open up for, perform with, sang with.
My favorite person to meet was Tisha Campbell.
Yeah, definitely.
Tisha Campbell and Brandy.
And Brandy. Yeah, I was gonna say Brandy.
Why Brandy?
Brandy, because she's Brandy. She's
Right.
Right, like her presence
world.
just.
Amazing.
That's pretty awesome. And now you have a new single out, so you have to tell us a little bit more about New Bay. You know,
New
where did that come from? Who came up with that?
We kind of just in the studio.
Just in the studio.
Who had a new band? Who wrote the song?
Right, somebody had a New Bay.
We wrote it ourselves.
We wrote it together in the studio.
Together, all four of you have a new band?
Nah.
That's why they wrote it, so they can get a new band. What's the meaning behind the song? Then tell us about it.
I mean, we're basically telling the girl that she can be our new bae, but
she can be one new bae for four of you?
No.
Okay, just making sure.
We all like our own
Individual new baes.
individual baes.
It's separate. So we're telling the girl that we're telling the girl what we can show her and what we can do for her, but she has to be the right girl.
Oh, I like that, and we can see the video on now. Oh, okay, yes, to the hand movement. This is amazing.
What is that experience like for you guys? Like a lot of people dream to be in your shoes. You guys are shooting music videos, doing TV shows, concerts with big stars. What's it like?
It's awesome, man. Like, it's really awesome. Like, just being around, different artists and really showcasing our talent and stuff like that. Yeah. It's crazy.
It's a blessing.
So, if you guys were to pick one artist to perform on stage with, not open up for, with.
I know who.
Oh, okay. I don't even need to finish my question.
We're going to say Chris Brown.
Wow.
Why is that?
Why Chris Brown?
Because Breezy just breezy. Like,
dancing,
singing, rapping. Everything. He just the trend. Like he got his ear to the streets for real.
Amazing.
Well, we want everyone to have their ears to your music. So where can they hear your songs?
Y'all gotta follow us on Instagram at officially_MTB. Y'all can also grab our album on iTunes. It's called It's Meant to Be by MTB. Tidal, Pandora, anywhere, Spotify. Basically anywhere music is sold digitally, you can find us. Like we just out here, we got YouTube, everything.
Grinding, I love it.
Trying.
That's phenomenal stuff. Now, do you guys have any advice for young artists that are trying to break into the music industry?
I want to say, really work for it and pray for it, and it's really bound to come.
Yeah. It's meant to be.
Yeah, it really is. It's meant to be. Work for it and pray for it. Really stay focused.
And stay humble.
Stay focused. Okay, I like that. Stay humble.
It's
down and be humble. All right.
Very
okay,
important.
so what's next for you guys?
Well, we got
photo shoot tomorrow.
Oh, photo shoot. Okay.
And
we got a lot of work coming up. Basically, for right now, we're just gonna be, low key right now because we got a lot of work to do. So, we gotta put in the work to get where we need to go.
Absolutely.
So we're gonna be doing a lot of work from now on until we gotta get where we need to be.
But y'all still gonna see everything on the way though.
We still be putting stuff out for y'all.
Keeping y'all
tuned in and everything. Yep.
Okay.
Amazing stuff. Okay, well, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back with Meant to Be performing their newest hit single, New Bay.
I'll be singing backup.
You're watching Horizon Streaming 360.
I gotcha.
You don't want him singing with you.
Let me warm up.
Welcome back to Arise Entertainment 360.
Here to close the show with singing their new single, New Bay, is MTB. Take it away,
boys.
Y'all ready? Make sure y'all follow us on Instagram at officially_MTB. Yes, sir. We ready when y'all are. Said, don't play with her, don't be dishonest. Still not understanding this logic. Yeah. I'm back and I'm better. I want you bad as ever. Don't let me just let up. I wanna give you better. I said, baby, it's whatever. You're gonna have to do more than just say it. You're gonna have to do less when we do it. Love mommy, you know I show it. Always want you to prove it. You're gonna have to do more than just say it. You're gonna have to do less when we do it. Love mommy, you know I show it. I always want you to prove it. Oh, babe, you, oh, you know it. Hey. Foreign car, let it go. If you're ready, oh yeah, let's do it. Riding my pony, my saddle, waiting is coming. Jump on it. Turn me inside out. I'll make my heart speak. There's no one else. Personality and the things you do make me love you. Oh, 'cause your smile, your style, it's so flower. I just can't deny you. I got a crush on you. And that is true with me. Make me love you. You're making me believe. Your love is the one and one. Hey, that's our new single. Hey. She might be my new babe. She be on that new wave. She keep trying to do things to me. Told the girl just keep it moving, grooving. I be trying to show you all the things you ain't used to. I could tell you want it, baby girl, the feeling's neutral. Hold up, you know that you get it, you got it. You know that you get it, you got it. Look at the way that you flex with the pockets. You know that you crying, girl, you just might be my new babe. Pushing foreigns, they shoot in the Gucci. It's a movie every time you do me. Acting strange and you know you're blue it. So make up your mind, yeah. I'm doing fine, yeah. All on my line, yeah. Don't waste my time, yeah. I'm saying, girl, you just might be my new babe. Pushing foreigns, they shoot in the Gucci. Hey, let's get it. Turn up the body, and you get this shit started. Your body like Nicki Minaj's. Yeah, that shit don't mean nothing. I'm pretty boy Dash, and I stay with the still. Stacking money to the still. Trying to get a deal with you, a bad little shawty. Independent woman, got a lot of money and pushing the wheel. And I just stay in the field. Stacking every cent and every dollar, trying to save her. Just hoping I'm close to a man. Ballin' like Jordan. Sticking like I got the score. Every night get the money, you boring. Changing your arms for hey, I just wanna take you for a ride for the night. Hey, I can get you right. Take your time, baby. Ain't no lie. Girl, you just might be my new babe. Pushing foreign, that you in that Gucci. It's a movie every time you do me. You acting strange and I know you blew it. Make up your mind, yeah. I'm doing fine, yeah. All of my line, yeah. Waste my time, yeah. Saying, girl, you just might be my new babe. Foreigners, they shoot in she say real. Hey. I say, tell me what you like, yeah. Tell me what you do, yeah. You could catch my wave, but only if you want it. How you dripping in that fanny? And it's on Louis V. Yeah. I got the check, you can roll with me. Listen, I'm watching you say, drop so fast to me, up and you ain't got the gas in the lead, let me fill up the tank. What can I say? You my new babe. My new babe. Flipping every day. Tell me what you think. Kissing her at the pink, Girl, you just might be my new babe. Girl, you just might be. Place you in that Gucci. Place you in that Gucci. You may acting strange and you know you flew.